Hey everybody, or I guess really
Periods 5, 6, and 7. Here's the homework. Let's go through this hopefully rather quickly. So as you can see in this first equation, it has all four parts, right? We're going to have all the steps. You're going to have the exponent going on. You're going to add the exponent here, and then you're going to add in the coefficient of -3, and then you're going to add the constant at the end of +4. So as always, we first start off by plugging in 0 and 1. So when you plug in 0 into that, you get 1, and when you plug in 1 into that, you get 3. And then this +1 moves it 1 to the left. So moving 1 to the left is a -1, 1, and then 1 to the left of that is 0, 3. This coefficient of -3, that means you're going to multiply the y values by -3. So you get a -1, -3, and a 0, -9. And then this +4 here, you're going to add that to the y value. So you get -1, +1, and 0, -5. Don't forget about your asymptote. Your asymptote is going to be y equals, and you go back up to the constant here, it's going to be a +4. And so if we go to make our graph, what we're going to have is, let's see, so if we look at our points here, -1, 1, 0, -5, that's kind of down, it's kind of like this in the middle of the graph. So I'm going to make it, but also I have a asymptote at 4. So I think my graph is going to look something like this. So let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I have -1, 1 is up here. And then 0, -5 is down here. The asymptote is at 4. So if I draw in a curve here, it's going to look something like this. Cool. Let's try number 5.
Alright, so when we first start off here, it's going to be just the baby form is just y equals 60x. And then we're going to add in the exponent, so y equals 60x minus 3. There is no coefficient step here, so I'm going to skip straight to the constant. Well, the coefficient's 1, I guess, but it doesn't really affect anything. So I'm going to have y equals 60x minus 3, and then I'm going to subtract 2. So again, I'm going to start off by plugging in 0, and I always get 1. And when I plug in 1 into this, I'm going to get 6. This minus 3 is going to move the graph, the curve, a few spaces to the right. So 3 to the right is 0, is 3, 1. And then I'm going to add 3 there, I get 4, 6. I'm going to subtract 2 from the y values, so I have 3, -1, and 4, 4. The asymptote here is going to be y equals -2. And then if I go to focus on my graph here,
those points are kind of, I guess we can kind of focus on the first quadrant. First and fourth, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3, -1. That's going to be right here. And 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over to 4 here. 0.44. We have a asymptote here at -2. So it's going to curve in something very steep like that. Oops, didn't quite get that point there. And so as you can tell, this is really steep, right? It gets really close here to the asymptote pretty quickly because the base is 6. That's going to make it a pretty steep curve. And then moving on to the last problem. So if you notice, the base here is less than 1, so that means our graph is going to be a decay function. So yeah, so the baby formula is just going to start off with 1/3 to the x. And then the exponent, you notice there's nothing going on here in the exponent. So the graph isn't going to shift horizontally at all. So we're going to go straight to our coefficient, 6 times 1/3 to the x, and then we'll add on our constant of +3. Alright, what does that mean here? Well, of course, when you plug in 0, you're always going to get 1, and then when you plug in 1, you're going to get 1/3. Now when we multiply again, there's no horizontal shift because the exponent is just 0, or +0. The coefficient here is going to be multiplying the y values times 6. So we're going to get a 2 here. And then we're going to add 3 to everything, or just the y values. So we can get 0, 9, and then 1, 5. The asymptote here is going to be a +3, so y equals 3. And then in terms of our graph here, let's see, we're going to have everything mostly focusing on the first quadrant this time. Give myself a nice tall graph here. Let's call that 5 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's see, so our asymptote is going to be here at y equals 3. We're going to have 0, 9, let's say that's right about there, and then 1, 5 is going to be right here. So notice the slopes down and to the right. And there's your decay function.